Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a detail that often gets overlooked in tiling projects, but one that makes a huge difference in how professional a finished space looks: wall skirting. Also known as dado tiling or ceramic baseboard tiling. If you've ever walked into a room and noticed that clean, crisp line where the wall tile meets the floor, running along the base of the wall like a protective and decorative border, that's wall skirting done right. And if you've ever seen a wall where that same area looks uneven, mismatched, or poorly cut, you already understand why this small detail deserves careful attention. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process of installing ceramic wall skirting from start to finish, the same way I would explain it to someone standing next to me on a real job site. Whether you're a homeowner looking to add a professional touch to your home, a DIY enthusiast working on your first tiling project, or a professional installer looking to refine your technique, this tutorial is designed to give you real, practical, hands-on knowledge you can apply immediately. Let's start with understanding what wall skirting actually is and why it matters. Wall skirting, or dado tiling, refers to a strip of tile installed along the base of a wall, typically ranging from about 10 to 20 centimeters in height. Though this can vary depending on design preferences and room proportions, it serves both a functional and aesthetic purpose. Functionally, it protects the lower portion of the wall from scuffs, moisture, impacts from furniture, and general wear and tear that tends to concentrate near the floor level. Aesthetically, it creates a clean transition between the floor and the wall, adds visual interest, and can be used to tie together different design elements in a room, especially when the skirting tile color or pattern complements the flooring. Before you begin any installation, proper planning is essential. Start by measuring the total length of wall you'll be covering with skirting tile. Take into account any doorways, corners, or transitions where the skirting will need to be cut or mitered. It's also important to decide on your skirting height in advance and to make sure this measurement is consistent throughout the entire room or space, since even small inconsistencies in height become very noticeable once installation is complete, especially in narrow strips like this. Next, let's talk about tile selection. Wall skirting tile is often the same material as either the wall tile or the floor tile, chosen specifically to create a cohesive look. Some installers prefer matching the floor tile, which creates a seamless visual flow from floor to wall, while others prefer matching the wall tile, which creates a more unified vertical surface. Either approach can look excellent, and the right choice really depends on the overall design vision for the space. If you're using floor tile for the skirting, keep in mind that floor tiles are often thicker and more rigid, which can actually make certain cuts and corner treatments a bit more challenging compared to standard wall tile. Now let's move into surface preparation, which is just as critical here as it is with any tiling project. The area where the skirting will be installed needs to be clean, dry, and structurally sound. Remove any old baseboards, moldings, or previous skirting materials completely, and clean away any adhesive residue, dust, or debris from the surface. If the wall surface is uneven at the base, take the time to level it out, since any irregularities will be very apparent in a narrow strip of tile running along the floor line. Once your surface is prepared, it's time to plan your layout. This is where a lot of the visual success of the project is determined. Start by identifying the most visually prominent wall in the room, usually the wall you see first when entering the space, and plan your layout to start from a full tile piece at that focal point, working outward toward less visible corners where cuts can be hidden more easily. This approach ensures that the most noticeable areas of your skirting look clean and intentional, while less critical areas absorb any necessary adjustments. With your layout planned, prepare your adhesive. For wall skirting, you'll want a high-quality tile adhesive appropriate for the specific tile material you're using, whether that's ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone. Mix the adhesive to a smooth, workable consistency according to the manufacturer's instructions. Using a small notched trowel, apply a thin, even layer of adhesive directly to the back of each skirting piece, or to the wall section itself, depending on the size of the tile and your working preference. Because skirting strips are narrow, many installers find it easier to back butter each piece individually rather than trying to trowel adhesive onto the wall in a straight, thin strip. When setting each piece of skirting tile, press it firmly into place. making sure the top edge aligns perfectly with your reference line and the bottom edge sits flush against the floor. Unless you're intentionally leaving a small expansion gap, which is sometimes recommended depending on the flooring. Material below. Use a level frequently to check that your skirting line remains straight and consistent as you move along the wall. Even small deviations can accumulate over a long run of wall, so it's worth taking the extra time to check your work every few pieces rather than waiting until the end. Corners require special attention when installing wall skirting, and there are generally two approaches. Mitered corners, where two pieces of tile are cut at 45-degree angles to form a clean, seamless corner join, or butt joints, where one piece runs into the other at a simple 90-degree cut. Mitered corners tend to look more polished and professional, but they require precise cutting and careful handling, since the thin edges created by a mitered cut can be more fragile, especially with ceramic or porcelain material. Take your time with these cuts, and don't hesitate to practice on scrap material first if you're not confident in your mitering technique. For cutting skirting tile, especially for corners, doorway transitions, and any curved or irregular areas, a good wet saw or tile cutter is essential. Measure twice before cutting, and always account for the width of your grout line in your measurements. For any curved cuts, such as around pipes or irregular wall features, a tile hole saw or a diamond-tipped cutting tool designed for detailed work will give you the cleanest, most precise results. After all your skirting tiles are set, allow the adhesive to cure fully before moving on to grouting. This typically takes around 24 hours, though you should always check the specific product instructions, since curing times can vary based on the adhesive formulation, ambient temperature, and humidity levels in the room. Once the adhesive has cured, it's time to grout. Choose a grout color that complements both your skirting tile and your overall room design. Many installers choose a grout color that closely matches the tile itself for a more seamless, unified look, though contrasting grout can also create an intentional decorative effect if that fits your design vision. Mix the grout to a smooth, workable consistency, and apply it carefully along the joints of your skirting tile using a small grout floater. For very narrow joints, a grout bag can offer more precision and control. After applying grout, use a damp sponge to wipe away excess grout from the tile surface, working carefully to avoid pulling grout out of the joints. Because skirting is a narrow, highly visible strip, take extra care during this cleanup phase, since any grout haze or residue left on such a prominent surface will be very noticeable once it dries. Once the grout has cured, typically over the following 24 to 48 hours, it's often worth applying a grout sealer, particularly if the skirting is installed in an area prone to moisture, spills, or heavy foot traffic, such as hallways, kitchens, or entryways. A good sealer will help protect the grout from staining and moisture absorption, extending the life and appearance of your installation. Now let's talk about some common mistakes I see repeatedly with wall skirting installations, even among people with some general tiling experience. The first is inconsistent height along the run of skirting, which happens when installers don't establish and consistently check a level reference line before beginning installation.